There are signs, different candidates who have brought signs out by the front door. They are available, and I think they're available for free, but help yourself if you wish.
I'm getting a bunch this week too, so I will get them to you, let me know.
Okay. The next speaker we have scheduled is Honorable Dave DeVoy, former county commissioner, candidate for New Hampshire Senate.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to talk a little bit about my family, myself, so you get to know me. A lot of people know me as a county commissioner, but I meet politicians all the time, and they say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but what did they ever do, and where did they come from? So I want to talk about my family a lot, okay? So I've been with my wife for 33 years. I have 2 adult children. I have a daughter who's a senior in college, and I have a son who's 37, who's going to be promoted to Lieutenant Colonel in the Army, Lieutenant Commander. He's on 3 deployments. I gotta tell you a story about my daughter. She was born 1 pound, 5 ounces, 27 weeks, emergency C-section. We didn't know she was gonna be a viable baby. It was very stressful. We're at Dartmouth for an ultrasound, and we got her out. And it's just amazing how small a baby is. My wedding ring went right up her leg. Okay, so while I was praying to save my daughter, I think about people that didn't want their babies, you know? So I'm very pro-life. It's important to me, and we had no idea what was her future going to be, but she makes the president's list. She's also a collegiate figure skater, and that's why I'm pro-women's sports. Women need to compete against women. Okay? Yeah. Guys, with my son David, he did 3 deployments. Like I said, his first one was to Iraq. He did convoy security. And he put his life on the line delivering coffee cups and toilet paper on the highways of Baghdad. And it was made me very upset as a parent. And so it made me get very involved with politics. I got involved with the Ron Paul campaign, and I got to know him a lot, and got to know a lot about his liberty ideas. And so I really have a lot of libertarian thoughts, and I worked in the Rand Paul campaign and the Ron Paul campaign. So now about my wife. You know, my daughter was born prematurely because my wife had kidney issues, and then around 2015, my wife had been in dialysis for almost 6 years. And one of her siblings was supposed to donate, but she became sick. She was on the kidney transplant list, which you don't want to be on because you'll never see a kidney. It's like they want to give kidneys to healthy people, but never to sick people. So I got tested, and luckily I was called a negative cross match, and I donated to my wife. I had to lose a lot of weight, took a lot of tests, and you know, I love my wife. And you're never going to read in the paper me apologizing for my actions and my behavior if I'm elected as a state senator towards my family. So that's a little bit about that. About me as a person, I grew up in Dedham, Mass, and if you did any research, you'd find out that you don't want to get in a street fight with Dave DeVoy. I was a really good high school wrestler. I actually went to Germany my senior year in high school. I went to New England Junior AAUs, and I went to West Germany, and I beat everybody from Germany over there. It was quite a great feeling to wear a uniform that said USA. And then from there, I went on to college. I was a Division I wrestler. Very difficult at the Division I level. So you can go from high school, you're a superstar, you get to college, and it's tough. But I still did very, very well. And that was one of the driving reasons for me to go to college. And then what I did is I joined Army ROTC. And after being a year in Army ROTC, they said they liked me a lot, and they gave me a 3-year Army ROTC scholarship. And then I went on active duty for 4 years, and I got out as a captain. From there, I went to graduate school. I used my VA money to pay for that. Went to Plymouth State, did a 2-year program in a year. And I got a job at a small company, an oil company. And I was supposed to be the manager of all the convenience stores that they were purchasing from another company. Well, they never bought the company. If you remember, in 1987, the stock market crashed. I graduated from college, grad school in '88. It wasn't pretty. And so before you knew it, I thought I was going to be a manager, and they had me working at Maurice Texaco, okay, running a small Texaco station. and I was a Texaco man. I had to wear a Texaco uniform with a hat, wash the windows, check the oil, and I said, boy, I really screwed up. I should never have left the Army. Okay, but I did go into the National Guard. And then I went to grad school. This wasn't supposed to happen, but I worked really hard. And these people were very impressed with me. So as they were downsizing, they told me about a location that was available in Guilford to rent. And they handed me the inventory and a handshake, said I'd pay them back someday. And before you knew it, I was in business. I was 28 years old. I had the small mobile station in Guilford that was a 2-bay garage. It was converted. And I was in business. Before you knew it, things have changed. 33 years later, I own my properties. I'm doing very well. And if you've been to Barnstead, you know I have Blueberry Station and Bosco Bell. And I understand everything about business and regulation. What really strangles businesses is regulation. It's one of the highest taxations on the business. And the other thing that's killing us business owners is we can't find people to work.
Yeah.
We need welfare reform. I am sick and tired of I can't find it. I put it down in the paper, it's hopeless.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of kids on J1 visas, they're here for the summertime, they're gonna leave September 1st. But if I didn't have them right now, my store would close early, my deli would be closed. There's times you have to lock the doors and leave the lights on, leave the pumps on, and just pump gas. So we need help in the business community. People need to listen to us and say, you need employees, we have to stop passing out the money. People have to get off their ass and come to work. So that's one of the things so, welfare reform, I'm pro-life. I believe in this election reform thing. When Trump was elected in 2016, I remember staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yes.
hoping he would win.
Yeah.
And he won, and I couldn't believe it. And I knew people that, like Trump, was afraid to hold their sign. But I held a sign at the Winnisquam High School. There were 7 Democrats, and there was me holding one Trump sign. And so then 4 years, advanced 4 years, and I watched the election results, and I was like, okay, he's gonna win this thing. I didn't go to bed, So then I went to bed, and I woke up, and everything went down. So I know we have an issue, and election integrity is very important to me. The Parents' Bill of Rights is important, because parents need to know what's going on, and then welfare reform. And if you want to know how we'd vote in a situation, whatever gives you liberty first, okay? I'm very pro-liberty, and so I'd like to be a state senator. You can go to DeVoy.com, find out more about me, but I'll work hard for you. I'm not afraid of a fight, and I don't quit. And if you remember me as a county commissioner, I worked very hard for the Community Correction Center. I worked very hard to keep funding. And we had a fantastic nursing home. We still have a fantastic nursing home. But we all work together, and I can tell you as a state senator, I'm not gonna badmouth other Republicans. I'm not gonna be, if I have a disagreement with somebody, I'm gonna pick up the phone and call them. And I think that's how we need to conduct ourselves. So anyway, I ask you for your vote, and won't take any questions.
Questions for Eric? Anyone with questions, raise your hands.
Dave, the senator you're seeking to replace had sold his soul to a wealthy failed businessman, and sponsored and co-sponsored a last minute, 11th hour amendment to an unrelated bill. Your primary opponent also co-sponsored that, designed to punish the Belknap County delegation and undo what couldn't be done in court, and undo 60 years of precedence in law because they didn't like the results they got. Please tell me that you wouldn't do the same.
I wouldn't do that, and I don't think any present member in the county that works at Belknap would convince their wife, can I borrow $25,000 to conduct a campaign so I can be on this Gunstock Mountain Commission to decide if we get a buy a new lift. It's not gonna happen.
It does pay $25 a meeting.
Yeah, but it's not gonna happen. And I think the system's worked, and it's gonna continue to work, all right? And I know Gunstock's done well, but I can tell you business-wise, I'm not doing anything different than I've done the last 33 years, and I'm making a lot of money. So,
Any other questions? Thank you.
anyway, thank you.
Croc TV.